Hey guys, today is day 13 of our Christmas devotion, and as I have said before, this is not something I'm going to continue to do, at least not right now. There may be times where I do devotions on a daily basis for a season, for like some kind of holiday, or just because I feel like we really need that, or just I don't know. There may be a reason why I do later, but right now it's just not something that I'm going to be able to continue. But I wanted to do this instead of my weekly Bible studies for now. And so after this, Christmas Day is the very last day this will be going up. After this, because today is Christmas Eve, Merry Christmas. After this, I won't have another Bible study until either next week or the week after. And I'm telling you this today just because I feel the need to tell you. And I am not recording this, of course, on Christmas Eve. I'm recording it before. But I just want to let you know that I just feel like right now a lot of us, and you know, in the past some of us, and in the future some of us, we need a little bit more encouragement during the holidays. Holidays are hard. Holidays hurt. And I know that because of things that have happened in some people's lives, they choose not to even celebrate Christmas. Or celebrate Christmas in the way that, you know, traditionally, like with the tree and the gifts and the get-togethers and all that stuff. You may still celebrate in some way. You may still just read the Christmas story, which is fabulous. Nothing wrong with that, reading the Christmas story from the Bible. I feel weird calling it that, but you know, that's what we do. We call it that. It's Jesus' birth story, you know. I feel like that is a great way to celebrate, even if you don't do anything else. Focusing on Jesus is what we need to do in every day of our life. Every day of our lives. But right now, it's more... Christmas has become, even though, like I've said in the very beginning of these, Christmas Day was not December 25th. Jesus' birth date is not December 25th. We don't exactly know, but it's a time we have chosen as a group to celebrate that. But Christmas has become so commercialized that it's turned into something else. But there's also been a lot of good things that came out of that commercialization, like family get-togethers and meal times together and things like that. So that's good, but that has also caused some people to not enjoy this time of the year after they've lost someone. And you know, it might not be that you lost someone. It might be that someone is sick in your family, or you're sick yourself. You're facing some trials and tribulations in your health. Y'all, the girls are walking around with me because the boys are outside. And when I say the girls, I mean the dogs. Because the cat usually doesn't very much. But they are just... Two of them are with me. And they need to walk around my feet a lot. Whenever Jeff and Noah are outside making noise. They don't want to go outside. So if you hear the little tippy-tappies, I'm sorry if it's distracting you. It's distracting me. But, you know, the tippy-tappies, that's just what they do. That's just how our little babies run around. And you know, that brings me to something else. Maybe you lost a pet. Or maybe you have a sick pet. You know, there's a lot of things that can cause grief in a season that is supposed to bring you joy and hope. And the whole purpose of me doing these is to maybe help you refocus on Jesus. Help you refocus on the purpose of this season. You know, you see everybody say he's the reason for the season, or not everybody, you see people say that and saying Jesus is the reason for the season and all these things. And you know, it's something you see a lot. And honestly, myself, seeing that sometimes it's like, oh, would they just stop? Because, you know, people aren't listening. Sometimes you just want to do that. At least I have, because it becomes like a cliche thing. It's just something people say. And they don't put action behind it. And over the last, I don't know how many years, 12, 13 years, I have tried to put action behind me seeing the reason for the season. I have tried to, in my own life, I have tried to focus more on Jesus. I focus on him every day, but focus more on him than on all the commercialized stuff. I don't even know why I'm saying any of this. I just felt the need to say it. So, today and tomorrow, Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, I decided that I'm going to actually read from the book. It's this book here. When Holidays Hurt, Finding Hidden Hope Amid Pain and Loss. It's by Bo Stern. Wonderful book. It's got different seasons in here. It's got Christmas. It's got New Year's. And then it has fallen... Let's see. Let me get it right. Spring and... Oh boy. Where is it even? You know what? I'm just, not doing very well with this part. Where is it at? Why are you doing this anyway? Summer and Fall. It's a really good one. And y'all, I don't normally just read the whole thing of something from a book because I don't want to get in trouble with copyright stuff. But it's just so good. And it does give permission to read parts of the book for reviews. And I've reviewed this book several times during this time, and I'm telling you it's good. And I'm not telling you to go buy it. So I guess I am not breaking any laws because I am reviewing it in some ways. I'm not giving a full, let's just break it all down type of thing. It's this is my thoughts. I love this book. It's good. She's got so many good insights. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do day 13. And I am going to go ahead and tell you I am recording 13 and 14 today. So you'll see me in the same clothes. So I've worn 4 different outfits, I think, during this. I don't think that matters to y'all though, because I want to get it done, and actually I have prioritized this more than I have my other videos for this channel. So I'm sorry if you don't like that. This is just important to me. God is important. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. It's okay. He multiplies our yes. And Mary said, my soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord, and my spirit has rejoiced in my God, my Savior, because he has looked with favor on the humble condition of his slave. Surely from now on all generations will call me blessed, because the Mighty One has done great things for me, and his name is holy. Luke 1:46-49. So Mary is saying she is blessed, and generations will call her blessed because he's done great things for her. He did a great thing by choosing her to be Jesus' mother here on earth. There's nothing greater than that calling. None of us have ever had a calling so great as that, as to bring forth Jesus on the earth, And I know that Jesus could have just shown up, but Jesus came in human form. He came and lived as we do. He didn't have special superpowers and stuff. He didn't have any more than we did, from what I understand. Some may argue that I'm wrong. I don't know. But from what I understand, from my study, he was no different than we are while he was here for those 33 years. She's finally settled down, hopefully. He ate the same way we do. He used the restroom the same way we do. He didn't have the amenities we have, but he had the same basic needs that we do, is what I'm saying. So let's go ahead with this. She says, I've read this story so many times, but I'm always amazed as young Mary steps into onto history's stage with such grace and dignity. It's impossible to understand the magnitude of her yes here, especially in this very moment when she could see generations down the road having the angel's assurance that she would be called blessed, but couldn't see days down the road to know whether Joseph would choose to stay or to go. Her current reputation and all her future dreams are suddenly lashed to the altar of sacrifice, and she has no way of knowing whether they will live or die. When Mary accepts the angel's proposal, she isn't just submitting to the will of God, she is submitting to it at the exclusion of all other options and expectations. And her decision tips over a long row of dominoes waiting in the wings behind. For Mary, the angel's visits made the hallowed moment in the stable possible, but it also triggered a harrowing moment at the cross. This kind of obedience and blind trust is stunning, and it is required of all of us, not just those called to carry the Messiah. It used to be that when I would dream about my future, it was mostly about the things God would add to my life. I didn't often imagine the takeaways, but I'm old enough now to realize that usually they are both. When I said yes to Steve Stern in 1985, that's her husband's name, the bullet points were very clear: in sickness and in health, in poverty and wealth, to love and to cherish till death do us part. These were the things I could see. I couldn't see the children and grandchildren that were wrapped up in our yeses that day. I couldn't see the hundreds of teenagers we would love and pastor together. I couldn't see the jobs we would lose or the mistakes we would make. I couldn't see the day I would become Steve's caregiver in addition to being his wife. That one yes led to so much joy and sorrow, and I don't think our story is unique. The will of God often involves beautiful and brutal, good and hard, happy and sad. It would all feel like a dizzying dance if not for Mary's final line, "The Mighty One has done great things for me, and his name is holy." Unless we can fully trust his greatness, we'll always be tempted to fall back on our own good ideas or our own muscles in seasons of battle. The holiness of his name and the sovereignty of his will trumps all other winning and losing. It levels every playing field, fills in every dip in the road, and heals every heart. He doesn't do good things, only great things. So we can rest in the knowledge that his love will prevail and that long nights will bow to fresh mornings. Holy is his name, perfect are his plans, in this we will rejoice. And I love how she says we don't know when we say yes to anything what is going to happen. We may have an idea. We may think we'll live happily ever after. But happily ever after does not always mean perfectly ever after. It could mean sickness, it could mean health, it could mean lack, it could mean plenty, it could mean a lot of different things. There have been times in Jeff and my marriage where we didn't have much, and now we have lots. We have more than we need, and that's one reason why we've been giving things away. There have been times where we weren't happy, we fought a lot, but now there's a time of plenty where we have learned by God's teaching, by taking his word and learning what he wants from marriage, and now we are happy and we have learned how to be a married couple, to not just be two people trying to make the other one another do what we wanted. We learned what God wanted and we go from there, and we are very, very happy now. There have been times where we have had loss. There have been times where he has held me when I cried. When I lost my daddy, when we've lost babies, we have held each other and cried. When he lost his grandpa, I have held him when he cried. I mean, there's been a loss from loved ones passing away that we have held each other and cried. But there's also been rejoicing when we had lost a baby, and then we got to hold Noah for the first time, and then Selena for the first time, and now they're grown adults, and they're such blessings, you know. We have to look at it all. And yes, our children have had health problems. We've had health problems. Jeff is going through something right now that is a health problem that we don't know how it's going to turn out. We don't know what's going to happen. And at the time of me recording this, we haven't gone to the specialist yet. So most likely you've already seen a video talking about that. Or at least you should have. If I am doing things correctly, you should have seen it this morning of what the specialist said. But we have gone through good and bad. We have made it through. But I want to tell you right now, we did not make it through with joy until we started focusing on Jesus. And that's what I want to point us toward with these devotions. Because without Jesus, we can't do it. We just can't. We can't make it on our own. We can't do it. It's just not possible. And I know we're going to face difficulties later down the road. There's going to be difficulties. There's going to be pain. There's going to be strife. But we always have Jesus. And He has done great things for us. And His name is holy. And that's what we need to focus on. So, the thing that you're supposed to do today, it says, finding hidden hope. What is the most important yes you have ever said? What was the result? Is there a yes to be said today? Take a moment alone today and ask our good God to show you how His sovereignty has covered and carried you through this season of battle. So I want you to look at what your yes was. And that's what and I want you to look at the result of it. Some of you, your big yes might have been choosing the spouse that you chose. And it might have been where you had years of wonderful marriage and then you lost your spouse. And that might have been the most difficult part. But during that time, after your yes, there were good and bad times. And there also could be a yes you need to say something. You say to today. Your yes today might be that you need to say yes to focusing on God and not the pain. The pain will still be there, but God will soothe that pain. It's just something we need to say yes to every day. It's God showing us what we need and us being willing to listen. So that is the thing to do today. You don't have to do any of these things. It's completely up to you. But that is day 13. And like I said, I really wanted to read it from the book because it's just so good. The book is just good. The book is just really good, and I like it all. So anyway, that is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a little longer than what it's been being because I talked a lot. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. I hope you have a Merry Christmas Eve. And if you don't mind, leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. If you have a prayer request, you can leave that down below as well, and I'll add you to my prayer list. And remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.